Guess what? It's time for EXP Explained for ding-dongs like myself. However, we first need a lesson in brokerage. How did real estate brokerage get to where it is today? And how did EXP get to where it is today? So here's the deal. Way back 1906-ish, this dude named Caldwell says to his mom, he goes, "Yo, Mom, I'm about to start a company." She said, "That's nice, son. What kind of company?" He said, "Real estate." She said, "Well, I never heard of that kind of company, and I have butter to churn, so good luck." So he decides he needs a partner in this whole endeavor. So he says, "You know what? I'm gonna send a raven to my homeboy Banker. Banker will be in on this." So he writes a letter, sends a raven off to Banker. Raven shows up. Banker opens the letter. Says, "Yo, Banker, you want to get paid? I got a plan." Banker writes back. He says, "You know I want to get paid. Meet me at the moon at midnight." Sends the raven back. They meet at the moon at midnight. Caldwell says, "Here's my plan. It's a real estate brokerage." And Banker says, "Never even heard of it. What do we do?" He says, "We sell people's homes and we help them buy homes. And for doing that, we get paid. And then we're gonna hire more people who are gonna do the same thing and they're gonna give us part of their commissions." Banker says, "Well, why would they give us part of their commission?" Caldwell says, "Because we run this. We started this." So Banker goes, "Cool, I'm in. Let's start it." And that's how Coldwell Banker started back in 1906. They ran the game for a long time. I'm talking like 70 years long, until 1971 or 2-ish. And these ex-hippies show up. They go, "Yo, we're hippies. Our parents said we need to get jobs. And so we're here to do real estate." And Caldwell and Banker cracked up and they said, "And what's your name, hippie?" And the hippie says, "I'm Century 21. A couple other people showed up, Sotheby's and a couple others, and they said, "Look, we don't know what we're gonna do different, but people are gonna wanna come and work with us." So they said, "Hey agents, come work with us. We're way cooler than Caldwell and Banker." And the agent said, "Sounds good, but what makes you so cool?" And they said, "We got gold jackets, that's why." And so some agents went with them, and they continued on for a couple of years. Then this big old balloon shows up in the sky, big old hot air balloon, and says, "Yo, I'm Remax, and I'm here to change the whole brokerage game." They all crack up. Century 21's cracking up. They said, "How you gonna change the game that we run? We run this, you ain't doing nothing." Remax said, "Well, watch this. Yo, agents, come work for us. We're only gonna charge you 5% of your commissions." Everybody laughed again. They said, 5%? That is unsustainable. There's no way you're gonna even stay in business, Remax, with your dumb name and your big old balloon. Some pretty smart agents did the math. They go, "You know what? 5%, that's better than paying 30, 40, 50% to these other cats. I'm in." And Remax was the new place to be. 1983 comes around, and in rolls this other dude from Austin, Texas. Big old mustache, and he goes, "What up, y'all? I'm Gary Keller. Hey kid, how you gonna change the game? We've been running this since 1906. And he goes, "Check it out. I'm gonna start a new company. You're gonna pay me 20% of your commissions, but only up to a certain amount. You're gonna only pay me like 15 or 20 grand a year, then you're gonna cap. Then you get 100% of your money." People were like, "What?" He says, "And on top of that, you bring a friend to come work for the company. We're gonna have what's called profit share, and we're gonna share these profits with you. How about that?" And everyone was like, "Well, that sounds interesting, but unsustainable, not gonna happen." The other brokerages laughed again, but the agents were smart enough. They go, "Wait a minute. I'm paying 5%, 10%, 15% forever. At least this place, I'm gonna get a cap and I can bring a friend. I'm in for that." So over the next 30 years, Keller Williams runs the game, but they were called Gross, Recruiters, Company for New Agents, blah, blah, blah. All the haters were hating on Keller Williams. 30 years later, 2009, a dude named Glenn Sanford comes along. former KW team leader. He says, you know what? I'm barely in my office. We're doing all of our business on cell phones. I bet there's a way we can eliminate all of this overhead and do things cheaper and quicker. I'm gonna start a cloud-based company. And the industry cracked up. Cloud-based company? What are you, crazy? Nobody wants to work in the clouds. At this point, nobody even knows what the clouds are. People want an office that they have to go to and be with their friends, and it's this community feel, and you have to have an office. He said, I'm gonna have an office, but it's gonna be online. And you can log in, you can get tech support, take classes, training, talk to your fellow agents. You can get everything at the click of a button. Gary Keller cracks up. He says, that's like Donkey Kong or a virtual animal farm. Glenn Sanford says, well, then it's on like Donkey Kong, playa, because we're about to do this. Here's my plan. You're going to only pay me 20% of your commissions. You're going to cap at $16,000. And since we don't have all of the overhead costs like offices and franchise agreements, we're going to take half of the money that comes into the company and we're going to share it back with the agents. We're going to call it revenue share. And they're not going to have to wait and figure out what the profits are every month to see if they get a little piece. They're going to know what they're getting every month, and it's going to be way bigger and way better. Unsustainable, they said. It's never going to work. He says, on top of that, I'm going to give them stock. We're gonna do healthcare, KV Core. They go, there's no way you can do all of that. He says, watch me. Hey Deb, his girl Deb, let's get in the RV. We're gonna go around the country and we're gonna teach people what eXp Realty is all about. So they got in an RV with a full tank of gas and hit the road. And here's what they taught them. All right, everybody, I'm Glenn Sanford. This is the beautiful Debbie Bieri, and we are here.
Yeah, no, enough with the funny stuff. I got it from here. Go, go.
I'm okay.
Now that we've had our short history lesson, let me explain to you exactly why eXp Realty has changed the game for real estate agents across the world. So most brokerages start with their founder. The founder is the head of the entire company at the top. And what that founder does, if they're smart, is they're going to divide the nation up into regions with regional owners. A regional owner is going to take a lot of risk. There's a lot of capital risk. They're going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to own a national region. Let's just say in this case, they own North and South Carolina. That regional owner is going to have the right to sell territories to a franchisee. That franchisee also takes major risk. Let's just say the franchisee wants to buy a real estate company in Raleigh. That franchisee is going to sign contracts, territory agreements to make sure that nobody else opens up a franchise in their territory. And then that franchisee is going to go out and take even more risk because they have to open up a brokerage, sign leases, and make sure that these buildings are large enough to house hundreds and hundreds of agents, because it takes hundreds and hundreds of agents to pay all of the bills. Not only that, the franchisee has to hire recruiters because they have to fill the building. They have to hire staff. They have to furnish the building, and again, take all of that massive risk. So at the bottom is us, the agent. And what happens is we are the leverage to keep this entire enterprise flowing. When we sell a home and do our job, money gets split up and it goes to staff and recruiters and franchise owners. It then goes to regional owners, and finally it goes back to the top, called royalty fees, to the founder of the brokerage. Oddly enough, they call eXp Realty a pyramid company. Now, what Glenn saw after the crash of 2008 is he had to shut down all of his market centers, but one thing happened. He became more profitable, so he got an idea. And that idea was, let's take the agents from the bottom and let's move them to the top. And let's take all of this overhead and staff and barrier of entry in the middle here, and let's give it to the agents. Let's allow the agents to build the community of eXp Realty by inviting their friends to our brokerage. And then Glenn will pay us as the leaders and the founders and the regional owners by sharing 50% of all of that money that he's saving over here to the agents that want to grow this company as leaders. Now, there's 5 pillars that most eXp agents get to enjoy. Number 1 is they become owners of the company immediately with stock and incentives. Number 2, they have the opportunity to invite their friends to the company, and be reimbursed referrals when their friends sell homes. Number 3, they enjoy leads and a CRM called KV Core, which is $600 a month if you're not an eXp agent, but we get it within our very low $85 a month fees. Number 4, world-class training by top elite agents that are above them, because we are incentivized leaders and we want to make sure our agents are successful here at our brokerage. And number 5, healthcare. There are even more benefits than these signature 5 pillars at eXp Realty, which we can dive in on our next videos, but know that these are the 5 levers that nobody can compete with. Agents here are successful because they have the same opportunity that founders, regional owners, and recruiters had at other companies. So if you're thinking about making a move to eXp Realty, dive in a little deeper, fill out the form below, and get in touch with us, and we'll make sure to connect you with a Freedom Builder in any of the 50 states in the US and Canada.